Hi, my name is Dayan, and I'm a PhD student at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology. Dina Tsybulsky is my supervisor and head of our biology education research group. In this presentation, we will present our study that deals with science teachers' perceptions regarding digital curation as a personalized and professional learning activity. So, what we will discuss today? We will start with a brief explanation regarding personalized learning characteristics. Then we will talk about digital curation, what it is, and how it can be used as a learning process. And finally, we will present the finding of our study that deals with science teachers' perceptions regarding digital curation as a personalized and professional learning. So let's begin with a concept you probably all know well, personalized learning. Personalized learning deals with the personal processing of information and thinking that leads to understanding or acquiring new knowledge. Let's talk about some of the different aspects of personalized learning. First, personalized learning is about identifying learners' unique needs and addressing them to optimize learning. We also want to encourage each learner's choice in what, how, when, and where to learn, to enable learners to express their voice and attitudes. By giving learners ownership over their learning, they feel valued, motivated, and in control. Another definition of personalized learning is including activities that are meaningful and relevant to learner, driven by their interests and often self-initiated. When we talk about personalized learning, we are talking about the creation of personal subject ontology. In other words, personal understanding of the content. The learner formulates a personal connection to his own world. New connections are made based on his knowledge, his personal skills, his cognitive level, and his preferences. Having addressed our first keyword, personalized learning, now we will move on to digital curation, what it is and how it relates to teaching and learning. Digital curation is the process of creating, managing, and utilizing digital content in a wide variety of activities. It is not new. Digital curation is used in diverse social and business fields, at libraries, museums, especially in today's digital world. In the field of education, digital curation means the creation of a digital collection that can be used for teaching, learning, or developing a learning environment. In fact, if you think about it, each of us is a digital curator. We make our own collections. It can be a collection of recipes, hobbies, or interesting articles. When we create a personal digital collection, we are basically filtering the information, collecting, and cataloging it for future uses. Everyone who uses Facebook, Pinterest, or any similar platform is basically a digital curator, sorting and filtering information according to his or her personal filters. But in fact, we are talking about the process of curation and not about the technological tool. Digital curation may be defined as a process of 5 C's: collect, categorize, critique, conceptualize, and circulate. The first stage includes preserving items or contents in the collection for further use. While at this phase, the curator compares new items collected with existing items. During the collection phase, the curator catalog and critique their items, find similarities, evaluate, and judge each item in the categorized collection. While creating the collection and thinking about each item, the curator is making linkages between items, which is actually the conceptualization phase. And finally, the curator can decide to circulate and share his collection with others. And now, with our two keywords, let's talk about our study. We examine science teachers' perceptions regarding digital curation as a personalized learning activity that promotes their professional development and learning. The focus of the studies that have been conducted in these fields to date was mainly on students enrolled in either higher education institutes or secondary schools. There are not enough studies on teachers' perceptions of the digital curation process as a learning activity, especially about promoting science teacher professional learning. The goal of our study was to address this gap. The focus of our study was on science teachers working in secondary schools, grades 7 to 10. The research participants were 14 teachers, 11 females and 3 males, working in schools located in various regions in Israel, who differed in terms of their degree of education and the extent of their experience as science teachers. The teachers in the study attended an introductory lecture in which the principles of the digital curation process were introduced. Later, they participated in a workshop in which they could become familiar with the technological environment in which the digital collection would be created, Wakelet. Then the teachers were instructed to curate their own collection. They could choose any topic they desired from the science curriculum at secondary and high school science teaching. At the end, they were asked to share the collection with each other. The teachers selected the topics, the resources, the types of items, and the time and place suited for the curation activity. They searched, filtered, and selected content at diverse topics: life sciences, ecology, physics, chemistry, and all kinds of items: animations, short movies, scientific articles, newspaper articles, photos, blogs. And finally, they share the curated collection with each other. In this phenomenological study, we collected data by using a reflective report and a semi-structured interview. After the curation process, the teachers were asked to complete the reflective report, which included 7 open-ended questions about their personal learning experience. The next stage was semi-structured interview. We wanted to gain insight into the participant learning experience. We heard more precise descriptions, elaborations, and examples of the personal learning experience. During the interviews, we asked the teachers to review the stages they experienced in the digital curation process and to focus on the learning experience and perceptions about their personal and professional learning. The transcripts of teachers' responses in the questionnaire and in the interview were analyzed using the phenomenological approach. In the first stage, we identified the significant statements that reoccurred in the participants' responses and made notes of their interpretation of data. In the next stage of the analysis, we identified reoccurring themes and organized them in a single table. In some of the themes, sub-themes were identified too. Then we searched for similarities and differences among the participants' perceptions of the same theme and categorized them. We found 3 major themes pertaining to the teacher's perceptions of the advantages of digital curation in science education: effective organization and sharing of teaching and learning materials, better organization of teaching materials based on pedagogical consideration, pedagogical variety, and innovation, and providing teachers with a more profound learning process. Here are some examples of the main perceptions that emerge from the data and short relevant quotes pertaining each theme. At the first theme, effective organization and sharing of teaching and learning materials, we found expressions about convenient, clearance, effectiveness. For example, teacher says, it's very convenient and much more goal-oriented, or it makes things clearer, even visually. You get to choose what's relevant to you. That's much more effective. At the pedagogical consideration theme, teachers refers to digital curation as a way to get new approaches to teach a science topic. For example, I found what's the best way to teach the topic, or now it's organized in a schematic way. It helps teachers to find new approaches. And finally, at the personalized learning theme, the teachers felt they have a deeper understanding of the curated topic. For example, it gives you a stronger base. You go into much greater depth. It gave me a broader view and a deeper understanding of the topic. So if we go back to the definition of personalized learning, we can see that in each of these learning activities, the teachers can make decisions and selections according to their personal preferences. And that is how they construct their personal and professional ontology. When selecting the collection topic, teachers can choose to focus on an area that personally interests them. While searching and selecting items, they have the opportunity to search digital content from plenty of sources and select those they consider relevant and comprehensible. If someone has a preference for visual learning, he or she may use video clips or photos. Those who prefer to learn through reading will be able to add books, articles, blogs, and other written sources in any language they prefer. By editing and tagging, the teacher could add their own opinion about the choosing content, address the pedagogical consideration, and the planned teaching sequence. And finally, if they decide to publish the collection, they present a personal and professional perspective. Teachers found sharing collections a very good way for learning and innovation. Analysis of the findings suggests that in general, digital curation enables learning, as well as the sharing of outcomes and ideas. Many of the aspects of digital curation that the teachers noted, such as promoting learning, corresponded the definitions of personalized learning, and that is why it's likely to promote personalized learning among teachers. Interviewees also noted that during the curation of digital collection, they felt that they were exercising a great deal of critical thinking as well as pedagogical reasoning. So, based on these observations, they found that the process advanced their professional learning. In other words, teachers' experience of curation was guided by their professional needs and areas of interests. This study contributes to research on science teachers, pedagogical perceptions, and reasoning in the technology educational content. The study shows the value of digital curation as a learning activity that promotes teachers' personalized and professional learning. We believe that this study has a significant implications for teachers' education and professional development. Thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions, please email me or participate in the question and answer session. Feel free to visit our research group website and read more about our work. Thank you.